Extracurricular. Tonight we have the privilege of witnessing the swearing in of future Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers representing high schools all over the state. It is required for a commissioned officer to conduct the oath of enlistment across all branches of the U.S. military. With us today is Major Chaz Oxendorf, commander of Minnesota National Guards of Recruiting and Retention Battalion Team North. Major Oxendorf joined the MNARNG in 2004 as a field artillery officer. Major Oxendorf will now conduct the oath of enlistment ceremony.
Raise your right hand. Group attention. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. And the state of Minnesota. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of. The President of the United States. And the Governor of Minnesota. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to the law and regulations. So help me God.
We thank you all for your service. Bobby.
The tournaments on 45 TV are brought to you by Lake Vermilion Tourism. Ice fishing, snowmobiling, and family fun is an easy drive from the Twin Cities of Lake Vermilion.
Counting down to the 4A title game, the rematch from last year. Park Center, the defending champs, have made it back. They're going to take on Wayzata again with a championship on the line. Chris Long back with you here between games on 45 TV. I'm joined by Phil Archer. He's Associate Director of the MSHSL. And in your first year running the boys basketball tournament, it's a heck of a job. It's a heck of a tournament. What are some of the things that you've learned, seen, and enjoyed in the first year?
Well, with the basketball tournament specifically, all the different relationships that are built just to make this thing go has been huge to me. And so there's been a huge, I would say, push to reach out to the Coaches Association, officials, folks at the Target Center. All that stuff has come together really nice. And then the other piece of it is how great a staff we have at the MSHSL. I'm a first-year associate director at the league. There's a lot of new staff at the league. And so the ability for us to all get together, work together, learn, and then put on tournaments in massive venues that create some awesome experiences for our student athletes.
And these experiences matter so much. You see it on the court, but also we see it in the stands. The pride that this fosters in school spirit and the passion that the athletes, the fans, the coaches, the families all have for their school community.
Yeah. Well, you look at what other events happen around a community where you're putting 10 to 20,000 people together and cheering for whether it's common or like opponents. You've got a bunch of people here watching kids do some positive stuff. And whether it's basketball or soccer or football, whatever it is. And so we've got a unique opportunity to bring a bunch of different people, diverse communities together and celebrate sportsmanship, athleticism, kids doing good stuff. And so I think that's a huge opportunity, and it's a rare one where we're able to do it in this magnitude,
Speaking of kids doing good stuff, there's plenty of programs that are positive student and positive student athlete. One I want to ask about is SALT, a student-driven experience and program. Tell us a little bit about what that is and how it works.
Well, we've got two newer associate directors, Charlie Campbell and Lisa Quidnow, that are still relatively new to the league as well. Very, very long-term ADs, bring a ton of experience to the game, and now have joined the league. And they are heading up a student-led leadership committee, which we actually had them here today, doing some different things and having an opportunity to learn some stuff, teach some stuff, and just be on site. And it was a great experience. But what we're trying to do is foster opportunities to teach leadership at the student level and take that out and bring it into their schools. And now we've given them an opportunity for students to lead leadership within their different communities. But we're able to help teach some lessons and then bring them in these venues and show them firsthand some of the different things applied. It's really cool.
Such a positive impact. Hey, tell me a little bit about how you see the relationship between the league and the various coaches associations, obviously specific to this one, basketball, especially these days where there's such a push to try to bring sportsmanship back into things. There's a shortage in officials that we've been talking about for years, and it's getting... There are some programs to fix it, but they need officials. If you're interested, go to the MSHSL website, by the way. If you like sports, you'll love it. But how important is the relationship with the Coaches Association, especially trying to just revive the sense of sportsmanship in all sports, not just basketball?
Sure. Well, I think the first thing to recognize is that it takes a bunch of different entities to be able to make things work, right? We look at the influence that our coaches have over kids. We look at the influence that our different athletic directors, athletic administrators, and administrators in schools have over their communities, and those are all vital pieces to creating a positive sportsman atmosphere, for people to operate in. And that is all going to dictate how our officials are treated, what kind of experience are they having too. They're human as well, right? And so when we go back to that question on leveraging our relationships with the Coaches Association, they're absolutely vital. And I've been with the league since June now officially, and I've spent a good chunk of that time trying to foster those relationships with the Coaches Association, because I know if the league and the Coaches Association aren't on the same page, it's going to be extremely difficult to either maintain or build culture that's going to help us develop those different environments where they're positive for everyone involved, whether it's the official, the coach, the learning environment for the student athlete, or just the fan that's out there. And you've got parents with their kids that want to see a great example out there, right? So it's all a piece of the puzzle that we've got to work on putting together.
Got your hand in a lot of things. Phil Archer, an associate director with the State High School League, runs the tournament. If year one's any indication, it's going to be a lot of fun working with you down the road.
I appreciate you guys having us. And just real quick, we need to say thanks to everyone that has made this happen. Target Center, officials, coaches, all those guys. And it wouldn't happen without a lot of people working together.
Thanks to you as well, and everybody that helps us bring these to you. The 4A title game countdown is on. Park Center, NYZ coming up next.
Extracurricular activity.
Uno, give and go, Mercure. Another stuff. 40 points for this young guy. Wow. Hunker down and see if Hopkins will miss. Chambers all by himself. He has come up big time. Every time Lakeland Road gets really close, he seems to be the guy, him and Fonbule. What a game this has been. What a great game plan by Johnny Austin, too. Again, getting his team to the championship. Mercure, long three. Wow! What a shot. Well, he came off like a Reggie Miller off screens. You don't need to hunt for a three-point shot. Get it to, try to get a steal or make a foul. Stewart in traffic. Shot is up. And a foul. Oh, my. Wow. And that bucket hit up and in. You Drew Stewart, you still got the 1-point lead. You can't get that close to him. Up for grabs. Leadville North. Up. Oh, my. They got the lead. They got the lead. 14 seconds. Chambers, the outside shot is up on his way. No good. Rebound. It's a scramble. There's 7.5 seconds. That's Panther basketball. Unbelievable. Drew Stewart. Boy, imagine what's going through his mind right now. Hopkins comes out in 6 seconds. Right, he's the shooter. He wants the three on the way. It's off. Rebound. Out of bounds. Lakeville North. State champions. 84-82. Wow, what a game, Dave. Celebrating in front of their student section. An incredible turn of events. in the final minute of this basketball game.
Yeah, I remember that entire tournament like it was yesterday. That was the championship. The semifinals featured, I think it was the same year that Amir Coffin hit the 70-footer at the buzzer to extend a 4-overtime game, I think. And JP McCura had hit a buzzer beater in the semifinal to beat Curtin Durham Hall to get them to the championship. And then we get this instant classic that 9 years later, like I said, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say all of these games are really good, but a few of them really, really stick out in your mind. And this Lakeville North Hopkins one really, really did because it really shocked everybody.
Doesn't feel like it was that long ago, does it? 9 years?
14, wow.
And you look at the champions there, there's Lakeville North back there in 2014. You see the run of the Jones boys, Apple Valley 2015, 2017. The Daniel Oturu near buzzer beater in 2018. Hopkins kind of reclaiming their crown. And, well, then look, we've got Wayzata winning back in 2021. And last year was Park Center and Wayzata. Park Center wins that one, and here we are again this year. Wayzata and Park Center once again this year. So Wayzata, plenty of experience as they go into it. Park Center is going to try to defend that title that they won last year. And a little bit of a passing of the baton as some of those teams we saw have moved along, and a lot of the players have moved out. But these two now fighting to be kings of 4A, Wayzata and Park Center.
Yeah, and I think we should expect another really good battle here from both of these teams. I think for Wayzata coming into this game, they get to come in with some momentum from their semifinal game where I thought they played an amazing game of basketball from beginning to end and kind of just controlled the game. Park Center comes in here, I thought, with a shaky bit of a game that was not as good as they could have played. So I think if they are to win tonight, Park Center, they have to bring their A game, which everybody knows they can play.
We talked about this being a rematch. We said this back in the semifinals. These teams do look very different. Cody Pennebaker scored 23 points for Park Center last year in the championship. Braden Carrington's now a Gopher. Carter Bjerke was a big part of the Wayzata team. Those guys are all gone, and a lot of new faces have replaced them. So we talk about the rematch and how familiar these teams are with each other, but they're not the same teams at all.
Exactly, and that's the best part about graduation is that you get a whole new crop of kids rolling in here and people, different people who get to attempt to win these big games. But I think a name we will be saying in this game is Cash Chavis. I thought he's been outstanding in this tournament for Park Center, and he's one of those guys that can change a game. His athleticism and the way he handles the ball is really something special. So I would expect for him to be big in this one.
Now, despite the turnover, these are still experienced teams. Both teams start 4 seniors and 1 junior. One of the seniors starting for Wayzata, their point guard, Hayden Tibbetts. He's a Mr. Basketball finalist and is one of the most electric point guards in the state. It's Stephon Marbury-esque in his prime, the way he plays.
He was really, really fun to watch in this tournament. This dude is locked in, and he feels like he plays with a lot of confidence. He's very sure of what he's doing, and his teammates kind of rally behind him. But boy, his ability to get to the basket and the way he slashes in and out of the lane, it's really fun to watch.
Had 24 points in the semi. So many talented players. Both these teams absolutely deserving of the title shot. They will get, in mere moments, Park Center and Wayzata, a rematch for the Class 4A title. Next. Here we go. Russell, Tyler, Roofton, Albany, and Totino Grace are already champions. One more to crown. It will either be the defending champs, Park Center, or the champions from 2 years ago, Wayzata, back in a third straight 4A final. Those two will reign 4A for 2023. Park Center got here with a 61-56 victory over Eastview. Leah, this is a deep team, and we're going to see a lot of them. 6 players average 9 points or more for Park Center, and Cash Chavis has had a great tournament.
Cash Chavis doing exciting things, but you're going to see a lot of players, as you mentioned, on this Pirates team. JJ Ware, I thought, added some really nice toughness to this team and got some nice easy points. He had 8 in the semifinals. I think so. You're going to see a little bit of the sub step into this one because this is a deep team.
As for Wayzata, they got a narrow 2-point victory over Lakeville North, 79-77. Both of these teams, nobody cruised in here. They earned the spot. They are iron sharpens iron, and they have faced some iron on their way to this championship game.
I agree, and I think Nick Andrews is another name that we're going to hear quite a bit from Wayzata Trojan. Jackson McAndrew, he had 28 in the semis, 14 in the quarters. He's been an impact player in this state tournament.
Last year was a 5-point game, 58-53. Park Center won. A close game. Said it before, these guys have played some close games. What else do you see as being a key to who ends up winning this thing?
I think for Wayzata, keep the turnovers low. I think they handle the ball, they move the ball well. If they can keep the turnovers low so the Pirates can't get into that transition and play how they want to play, they can get this win.
Park Center started the season 22-0. Wayzata, they're 26-1 since an 0-3 start. These are the two best teams in Class 4A. One's going to be a champ. Let's go down to Dave Giles to meet the teams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Target Center to the 2023 Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament and to Championship Saturday. This is the Class 4A State Championship game, and it features the Section 5 champion with a record of 28-2, the Pirates from Park Center High School, and the Section 6 champion with a record of 26-4, the Trojans from Wayzata High School. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this state championship game. First, the starting lineup for the visiting team, the Park Center Pirates. At guard, a 6'4" senior, number 1, C.J. O'Hara. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 3, Joe Burgess. At guard, a 6'3" junior, number 11, Cash Chavis. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 22, J.J. Ware. And at center, a 6'9" junior, number 24, Chang Ring. The head coach of the Park Center Pirates is James Ware. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Section 5 champions, the Park Center Pirates. Now the starting lineup for the home team, the Wayzata Trojans. At guard, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Hayden Tibbetts. At guard, a 5'8" senior, number 5, Jake Berkland. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 10, Jake Schmidt. At guard, a 6'9" junior, number 23, Jackson McAndrew. And at forward, a 6'5" senior, number 25, Isaiah Hopte. The head coach of the Wayzata Trojans is Brian Schnettler. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Section 6 champions, the Wayzata Trojans. The officials for the Class 4A State Championship game are umpire Nate Meisner, referee Kevin Britt, and umpire David Drexler.
Welcome to Target Center here tonight on the floor. And right now we have a big house here, and it's even getting fuller up on the top rafter.
They're starting to fill in on the top, and the Minnesota high school basketball faithful have come out to see a star-studded tournament, and it has absolutely paid off. And I expect nothing less than happened here tonight. These two teams, we had the opportunity to see them live just 2 nights ago, Dave, and my hunch is a lot of pace, a lot of transition pushes. We're going to see a lot of pressing, some turnovers, some running and gunning. If anything, I think we're in for some significant highlight reels.
Starting lineups are brought to you by Education Minnesota, the voice for professional educators and students. Well, let's play some basketball here at Target Center and get set for the state championship game. Both teams can put up points. Wayzata averages 79 a game. Park Center averages 88 a game. But in the state tournament, normally you don't see those kind of numbers just because of the defense being so much better. But we'll see. The tip control